in. Okay. Yeah, let's go. This is Chip and Addie. Hello. 两个人. And we're here at Saigon IV Cafe in Melaka. Yep, that's right. No chicken rice balls this round. We'll visit that another time. Now, I always need a hand of cards when it comes to restaurants accommodating the kind of food Chip prefers. And whenever he takes a break from his no-carb diet, Vietnamese is a cuisine he's always enjoyed, including the noodles. The plus point about this place is that you don't have to contend with crowds. Oh my! It's a line! Since it's situated outside of the tourist zones of Melaka. And any place without a queue in these post-COVID times are always welcome. Now, I must emphasize that just because a place does not have a queue right outside its establishments doesn't mean that its food isn't good. Restaurants can sometimes be overrated, and we found quite a few times that those marked an average point of 3 on Google reviews can sometimes be our preferred eating place. In this case, Saigon IV Cafe happens to be a 4.3 at the time we visited it. Immediately upon entering, we noticed that the dining space was clean and bright. And it always scores well with us. I mean, it's not that I don't enjoy a good candlelit dinner. It's just that I prefer to see what I'm eating. Understandably, most of the patrons here would be Chinese since this restaurant serves pork. On our first visit to the restaurant, as tradition with us on any visit to every Vietnamese restaurant, we made 2 orders of their fresh spring rolls. 2份. I also ordered the fried variety, which I enjoy immensely every time I've had it in Vietnam. You can tell at first glance that the fresh variety, well, was freshly made, as in it didn't look like its rice paper casing was left to dry out, as we have found with other chain restaurants. They've also wrapped in both shrimp and cold pork belly for variety. This one is a kind of a peanut sesame sauce. It's very fresh. I like it. The fried roll, we agreed, was a tad oily, but its crispy texture and flavor was exactly as I remembered from our travels in Vietnam. At some point, we wanted some sriracha sauce to have with our rolls, but it turns out they only have this type, the Chin Su brand. Everything is in Vietnamese. Chin Su. Which, judging from the solely Vietnamese text, appears to be a thoroughly Vietnamese product. They also had little jugs of fish sauce. At any time, you're free to pour this uniquely Southeast Asian condiment into your dipping sauce. The beef stew noodle looks good. Noodles-wise, Chip got himself a pork trotter soup.
So yours is the pork trotter. I see it up there.
Mine was a beef stew noodle soup, which, as the name suggests, was somewhere in between a slightly thick, sweet beef stew and soup. You can add in the chili paste, herbs or bean sprouts served on the side. The slightly bouncy texture of the noodles reminded me of wonton noodles. On hindsight, I should have probably stuck to ordering stew or clear soup noodles. The soup turned out to be a little too gelatinous for my taste. Chip enjoyed this, however, with his usual amount of fresh chilies dumped into his soup. And of course, I had to have what the other table was having, which is a Vietnamese iced coffee.
The following day,
we liked the place, so we ended up having lunch here a second time around on our exit out of Melaka.
Thank you.
You too. If you had to choose something on one sole visit, you have to try their bánh mì.
Bánh mì,
Which is a kind of sandwich, usually with meat in between. we had the shredded chicken banh mi.
We are shop sitting area.
It tasted amazingly alike to what I had at Hanoi Banh Mi 25. It brought back memories of me sitting astride a bench on a balcony overlooking a busy junction. Crisp casing, soft bread, fresh ingredients perfectly balanced without its casing being overstuffed. However, the star of the show for me was the shrimp paste on sugar cane. It turned out to be the most expensive item on our order today, and for good reason, as it was super tender and flavorful. When I told the lady boss that the shrimp paste was delicious, she replied in Mandarin that it was laborious to make that dish.
I like how the shrimp paste actually clings onto the sugar cane, but most times when you have shrimp paste cakes, right, they are tough. But this one is really soft.
Our noodle bowls today were the chicken and beef pho. And I think it was only at this point that I appreciated the simple flavors of the dishes. The subtlety really grows on you. It may be simple, but they do it really well. This time, I had a chance to look around a little more. Here and there, the walls were decorated with Vietnamese bamboo hats and fans. On the TV screen appears to be entertainment programs ad from Vietnam. Tucked away immediately by the entrance is a vendor's cart carrying loaves of made-to-order French baguette. It's almost as though this cart had been shipped specially from Vietnam. Over here is a short brief on the history of this restaurant, and Ivy is probably the name of this enterprising lady. They also have other dishes on offer, such as duck noodle soup, dry vermicelli salads, braised meats and glutinous rice, which we will try on a return trip. All in all, it was a satisfying experience, and I have to say that the prices here are relatively cheap. If you're a fan of Vietnamese cuisine and are next in Melaka, I highly recommend that you do not miss out on this place. And that's it for this video. Until the next one, take care.